Thanks for coming out tonight, folks. What a great crowd. We're about 25, 30 people over what we were expected. Thank you to Arrowhead for hosting us. Yes. Used to say every day in baseball practice, adversity comes in all shapes and different sizes, and today it came in, and Arrowhead stepped up, and everybody's getting fed here. If you haven't gotten fed and you want a steak sandwich afterwards, I've got Maria's Arrowhead number, so just come and get it from me, and I'll give it to you. Ryan has already committed to paying for everybody's drinks and food.
Can I get that number?
Yes, you can get that number, yes, yes. Got a phone call on the way over here today, about two and a half hours ago. Want my social security number. Somebody, give me your social security number, because if you don't give it to me, it's going to be you're going to be put in jail, criminal type thing. And so I went ahead and gave it to him. But on the serious side, if you do get that phone call, don't give him your social security number. Yeah, I'll put it up on the website tomorrow. Yeah. I don't know how everybody else's summer went, but our summer was fast and furious. We hired at least 11 new people in the department, and at some point in time right here, we're gonna ask everybody affiliated with South Dakota School of Mines to stand up and introduce themselves. But I spent my summer again hiring people and coaching U10 softball for my wonderful little daughter over there. It was a lot of fun. Looking forward to next summer, and she embraces it, or at least enjoys softball at this time. And as a former baseball coach, that makes her dad very happy. So it was a lot of fun. At this time, real quick, if we could have all employees at least because not everybody who's in the building at this time who's an employee at South Dakota School of Mines is going to stand up to speak. But we can start right over here to my left. If you could just stand up and introduce yourself. You got to use your coaching voice.
My name is Torvi. I'm the head volleyball coach. I've been here for a year and a few months, so entering my second season.
Good job.
I'm Ryan Thompson, head men's soccer coach. Been here for about a year and a half. Was previously the assistant coach. I moved up just recently in June.
My name is Savannah Cox. I'm the assistant volleyball coach, and I've been here for a year and a couple months also.
Hardrocker, professor, industrial engineering.
And former
FAR.
What is an FAR for everybody in the room?
Faculty athletic rep. Thank you, sir.
Brad Johnson. I work with the School of Mines Foundation.
I'm Rod Rice, professor of humanities. Been here for 20 years.
Jim Rankin, university president, about a year and a half.
I got you in mouthful.
Hi, I'm Marnie Tinker. I'm Zachary's wife, and I also work with the student union.
Zach Dicker, head football coach. This will be my 8th season coaching football.
Mike Gannon, Development Center coordinator, and this is my second year.
Kenner, professor of head civil environmental engineering.
Steve Malott, like a bad penny back as interim vice president for finance. This is day one.
Pat Mann, vice president of student development, dean of students, year 19, going on 20.
Jerry Jacobson, head women's basketball coach, and we determined today that it's been exactly 1 month since I moved to Rapid City.
Mike Seibern, assistant women's basketball coach, and 2 weeks actually.
Anyone here at this table? Dr. Simonson?
Larry Simonson, I'm assistant to the president, and also teaching classes semester. I think this is year 44. I'm Ty Roy, former director of golf and now an assistant director in the admissions office. And going on my third year.
Luke Wheeler, the new director of golf, following this guy right here.
Anita Brennan, I work in the front office. I've been at the school for 13 years. I've been in athletics for 7. Woo-hoo. Cassie Koshiba, Associate Athletic Director, and if you're at a month, I'm at a month and a week.
Roger Trimple, men's assistant, almost a year.
Eric Glenn, head men's basketball coach. This is my 16th year.
Steve Johnson, director of track and cross country. This is my 10th year.
Joel Kincart, president of the school foundation, 4.5 years.
I'm Sandy Carlson. I'm with the Hardrock Club. I've been here for 7 days. Anything else? But I've been on campus since 1998 with a few breaks.
Everybody knows Sandy. So I'm Maria Cadwalder, Executive Director of the Hardrock Club, and thank you all for coming tonight. I truly appreciate it.
Me? I'm Brad Bloom. I'm the Athletic Communications Director, and I've been here, this is my 14th season.
Well, thanks for introducing yourselves. We really can't do what we do at School of Mines, especially in the athletic department, without having a family atmosphere and all buy in. As you saw, we set up tables, we brought in chairs, we helped out. That's what we're all about.
How about a hand for all those good folks?
That's right. Well, if you don't know who I am, I'm Joel Lucan. I'm the athletic director here at South Dakota School of Mines, originally from Dubuque, Iowa. I took the position here June 2nd of 2014, going on my 6th year. Love every minute of it here. Our students, our faculty, our staff, our alumni, our community is absolutely amazing. We have 315 scholar athletes, 45 more than we had last year at this time. We have 13 NCAA Division II sports: football, volleyball, soccer, men's and women's cross country, men's and women's golf, men's and women's basketball, men's and women's indoor and outdoor track and field, and we have esports and cheerleading. Before you ask, I don't know if the NCAA is going to sanction esports yet, but I'm sure at some point in time it's coming. Our 2019 spring cumulative GPA was 3.12, which marks 22 semesters in a row of science and engineering classes. That's absolutely fantastic. Our incoming athletic class is 97 incoming scholar athletes with an average GPA of 3.68. Absolutely fantastic. So with that being said, I am going to turn this program over to the people who you really want to listen to, which is our coaches and our scholar athletes. And we're going to have the volleyball program lead us off. Larry, will you turn your cell phone off just in case it goes off in the middle of this?
Yeah, thanks, Joel. So, as I introduce myself, I'm Lauren Torvi, head volleyball coach. Been here in a little bit. This is my husband, Aaron. He's my husband of 2 months. So yeah, I'll try to keep this short. It's going to be tough for me because I'm super jacked up about what we got going on. But yeah, there's a lot of things that have been happening. Obviously, we came off a rough season, or a few rough seasons, so we've been completely redeveloping the entire program since January 2019, which makes it very exciting about the things that we have going on. So for starters, we have 6 returning athletes who are fantastic. They had a cumulative GPA of 3.6 for the spring semester, so not only brilliant, but fantastic athletes and leaders. We have 10 incoming athletes. who aren't really in here anymore considering they're here. So 10 first years, 8 of them are freshmen, 2 of them are transfers. Out of those 10, I've already given this spiel in the spring, but I'm gonna do it again because it's exciting. Out of those 10, like I said, 2 transfers who are fantastic kids. We have the top 2 players in South Dakota, or were ranked in South Dakota. One was the Gatorade Player of the Year for South Dakota. The other was the State Player of the Year in another fashion. We have a libero from Dallas-Fort Worth who was ranked one of the top 5 liberos in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. We have a baller kid from Wisconsin that I know you're gonna love to watch play. We have a middle from Iowa who is also gonna blow your minds. We have a middle from Phoenix who is full of energy and a fantastic kid. We have a pair of twins from Western Colorado who are some of the most funnest people I've been around, which is really exciting. And I think that's it. Did I cover it? Yeah, all right. So, whole new team, whole new situation, which is very exciting for us. We have put forth the biggest goal of completely creating a new culture. So, since those 6 kids pretty much worked their butts off all spring, they've committed to a new culture, which means new leadership. Our 3 captains who are elected by their teammates went through essentially a 20-week leadership program on their own fruition. So they worked really hard to understand what it takes to lead themselves and then lead others, which has been really, really big for us. And our team themselves on their own fruition went through a leadership program as well. So we're developing ourselves into this group of young women that are not only going to lead themselves, but lead others, and hopefully transfer that into being like phenomenal women off the court who do great things. Because at the end of the day, we want our athletes on our team to graduate and change the world. And they're going to do that through the things we learn in volleyball. As far as looking forward, we leave on Thursday night to go to Chadron, Nebraska. We play 4 teams at a tournament in Chadron, which is very exciting for us. We played in a tournament in Chadron in the spring, and we beat everybody by a lot. And that was with 6 people, and they played 6 straight sets of volleyball, which, I don't know if you know about volleyball, it's a lot. So, you know, we ended our spring season there on a really high note, and we're excited to get back this fall with a whole new team. After that, we head to St. Cloud, do the same thing, 4 teams, and then we start RMAC play. So it's going to be a very exciting year for us. The RMAC is one of the best Division II conferences in volleyball, so it's a gamble. You never know who's going to be there, but our biggest goal has always been A, develop leaders and relationships, B, create this phenomenal culture where we value and place a premium on relationships and results. And 3, our biggest goal has been to be in the top half of RMAC. So our goal is to be 1 through 8, and that's where we're going to end up, hopefully. But we'll do that through everything that we've been working on, which is really exciting. So I hope that y'all will come and watch us play. Our first home match is going to be September 18th. It's a Wednesday. We play Dickinson, which I think we've been playing them since like the 80s. So we kind of got a thing going with them. So they're always fun to play, and it's going to be fun to have them on our home court. We went there last year and beat them in 5, and it was an intense match because they had a really great atmosphere for their athletics. So we're excited to start with them at home, but we hope that you'll come watch us play there and stay with us through this journey, because we're home for 4 weekends this season, and we want you to be there for all of them and meet these new women on our team and get to know the returning women that we have, because they're all going to change my life in some degree, and hopefully everyone else's too. So with that, I think that's all I got to say. Without further ado, I have 2 athletes here. Y'all can come up. And they're going to speak a little bit about themselves. First is Hannah Stevenson. Hannah is a returning senior. She's a team captain, and she'll tell you all about it herself because she pretty much runs campus. Dana is a returning sophomore. She was a 2nd-team All-RMAC player last year, and also one of the best outsides in the country, so I'm going to let you do that. Oh, do I need to field questions first? I'll do it after.
Hi everyone, my name's Hannah Stevenson. Like Coach said, I'm a senior here, middle blocker. I'm originally from the Phoenix area in Arizona, majoring in civil engineering. I graduated in May. My plan is to go to grad school for structural engineering, and after that, I hope to work in structural design.
Hi, I'm Dana Thompson. I'm a sophomore, like Coach said. I'm an outside hitter. I'm from Fruita, Colorado, but I live in New Mexico now. And I'm studying computer science. I'm pursuing my bachelor's and my master's here at Sept Mines. And after I graduate, I want to go into cybersecurity.
So all three of us will happily field some questions from y'all that you may have about anything that's going on. I know you're all probably super excited as well. Yes, Brad.
Could you tell us how Dana did last year in the RMAC and maybe the NCAA?
Sure. So Dana was she was all RMAC second team player, which for a team that's in the bottom of the conference, that's a pretty big deal. Statistically, Dana was top 5 in the country for the year. Top 6, yeah. For kills per set, which means out of all the thousands of women that hit volleyballs in Division 2, she was in the top 6. So that's a pretty big deal. As a freshman, so that's pretty exciting for us. And she led the RMAC the entire season. She never dropped below #1 in kills and kills per set as well. So we're happy to have Dana with us. Yes, Brad.
Second part of my question,
Yes.
Did these two ladies get some sort of preseason recognition?
So Hannah and Dana were named RMAC players, preseason players to watch. So they are definitely 2 of our athletes that you're going to want to keep an eye on the way that they impact our team. I think athletically and also culturally. They're a big deal for us, for sure. Anyone else?
I am so excited to see you guys play this
Me
year.
too! All right. Yeah, we're excited too. I think it's really excited. Brad's been working on a lot of great game management stuff. I mean, our team is jacked to play on their home floor. I think we're just really looking forward to playing at home and also going into other RMAC gyms and showing them what they've been missing for a while.
Have you been drinking some of Zach's juice?
Yeah, I mean, put me through last year, all through spring, the anticipation, Savannah and I got hired in July, we recruited these kids the minute we got hired. So we essentially created a team and had to wait a year to put them on the floor. I mean, that doesn't feel super calm. You get real anxious to put that team on the floor. So we're really happy to be where we're at. Yeah. All right, we'll see you September. Oh, sorry. That's all right.
Did you bring any game day signs yourself?
Oh yeah, so thank you for that. Joel was very generous with us, and Maria as well. Savannah actually had this idea because in the past we've had game day signs that say game day, and they have grubby on them, and you put them in your yard. And we found a bunch in the athletic department. And Savannah was like, we should sell these to people. And Joel was like, that's a great idea. Y'all can do it, and then proceeds go to volleyball. So our volleyball team at the Hardrocker in the Square night sold 48 signs in under an hour. And yeah. So they're engineers, they're brilliant, but they can also sell stuff, which is but yes, we would love to sell you more. If you would love to buy one, if you don't have one, we will happily order more. Sell you some. I got one left in my office. So besides that, yeah, we hope that you put them in your yard for all of our home athletic events. Yeah. All right, thank y'all.
Thank you. I think I turned down every volleyball player came up and asked me if I wanted to buy a sign, and I said no. I'll buy one from you, Coach. All right, let's get soccer up here to chit chat. Tell us about what's going to happen with the Hardrockers.
Hello, everyone. I don't know if you guys can hear me. I'm Ryan Thompson, new head coach of the men's soccer team. Like I said earlier, took over the position in June. So excited to be a part of this team as the head coach. We went through a lot last year. with not winning many games, and I'm hoping to change that culture as I take over. This year, we have 20 guys returning. We have 13 new guys. 11 are true freshmen, 2 are transfers. So a big team, a lot of guys to take care of. My graduate assistant and I have been narrowing down our roster size to the guys that we're actually going to suit up for games the past couple days. So we've dropped our number down to 22. If you come out to games, those are the guys that you'll see. The other guys are going to be red shirts, mostly freshmen. But yeah, our goals this year are really just to continue to build the program. It's only in its 8th year, I believe, and it's time for a change in what we do and how we rank ourselves within the RMAC. A ton of tough schools in our conference. A lot of good talent is in the RMAC. So for us, really just changing the culture, trying to find wins, digging out wins any way that we can. I have a great group of guys. They're always willing to work. Now it's just putting pieces together and growing it into what it could be. So yeah, tons of potential. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. I'm not that good at speaking in front of a bunch of people. So I speak a little different in front of the team, so this is not really my forte up here, but I guess I'll have to get used to it. So yeah, goals obviously are to climb the standings in RMAC, put together more wins than we have before, and really help these kids graduate and become leaders in society. So it'll be a tough job, but everyone's more than willing to make it work. So I have 2 guys with me today, Brenton Brack, who's our new captain, and Sterling McKenzie is our co-captain. So I'll let them introduce themselves.
Hey everybody, I'm Brenton Brackey. I'm a junior chemical engineer, and I'm a center back from Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. And I don't really know what I want to do after I graduate, but I guess I still got 2 years.
Hi everybody, I'm Sterling McKenzie. I'm a junior this year. I'm a computer science major, originally from Windsor, Colorado. And this year I'm playing forward, but previously I've been kind of a midfielder. And aspirations after I graduate is, this past summer I had an internship with HP Inc. And next year I got a return offer to go back. So goals after that ultimately would be to land a full-time position with them.
Are there any questions?
When's your first home match?
Our first home match is this Friday at 11 a.m. At Sioux Park against Texas A&M International. So tough opponent to open the season with, but we're excited to see what we can do against them.
Dr. Rankin will be signing anyone's permission slips to leave work.
I'll take that approval. Anything else? All right. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks, guys. Okay, let's bring Coach Johnson up here to talk about men's and women's cross country. If Maria's standing in the back going like this, Steve, that means we need to move on. Sounds good.
All right, well, so we've got quite a few changes in the squad this year. We have 11 new members. We have 7 new guys, including 1 transfer from University of North Dakota. And we brought in 4 new women, which took our women's team from 6 to 10, which is a real big relief for me because we were kind of sweating that last year at times. When you get a couple injuries in cross country, you have to have 5 to count as a team, and you get a couple injuries if you're running short, it really comes back to bite you later. So really like what we saw. We took them out to the hills and put some miles on their legs already. Ran through a couple of tests. I think our men's team already has over 150 miles under their belts. and our women's team isn't too far behind. They'll be at 150 by the end of the week here, I think. So they're definitely getting their work in, and we like what we're seeing. We're seeing some real good groups starting to come out. One of the biggest things for us that happens this year is we get a couple of guys back off of red shirts that will be real valuable to us up front. Jacob Huber is a super senior for us. He's in his last semester of eligibility, and he's a guy that, well, up until Ryan over here got here, was our #1 guy. And so to be able to bring somebody like that up into the fold and get rolling again is going to be a huge piece for us. And then we also bring Andy Ferris back off a redshirt year as well, coming off of national qualifying mark in the 800 meters to boot. So we're pretty excited about what we can get done. We think we feel like the conference kind of underranked us a little bit. They put us tied for 12th, and well, we were 11th last year without those guys. So I think we can get a little bit done this year. I think the goal we talked about is to be top 10 in both the conference and the region. If you've heard me talk about our region before, you know that if you're top 10 in our conference, you're probably going to run pretty close to that same mark at the region. That's not an ego thing. That's just a fact in our situation. On the women's side, I think we are definitely going to be looking at those younger ladies those freshman ladies to be up at the front for us. And we're fortunate that they have some good leadership in Kayla Gagan, who's going to be up here in just a minute, as well as Laramie Giles, to help kind of show them the ropes as we get going. This weekend we have our home meet, 9:30 a.m. at Robbinsdale Park, and men are at 9:30. Then 10:15 we have my favorite part, which is the Kids K. So we have kids race at 10:15. So make sure you bring your grandkids, bring your nieces, nephews, anybody you can find. Okay, it's free. They get a T-shirt, so they have Hardrocker gear for when they go to the football game later that day. Okay, and of course a popsicle when they get done too. So make sure you bring somebody with to come check it out, and then stick around for the women's race at 10:30. We've got 5 teams competing this weekend. Montana State Billings is coming down, Shadron's coming out, and then a couple teams that are new to us, well, one of them we just haven't seen in a while. Valley City State is coming down, and Trinity Bible College is going to come over. So should be some interesting matchups. The women's team in particular, I think, could be pretty much a dead heat between a few of those teams, including us. On the men's side, you know, our guys have some pretty big aspirations, and it's their chance to see what they can do. So, with that said, I'm gonna be trying to keep it short tonight and turn it to these guys here. Come on. So we've got Ryan Moen here. Ryan is I'll let him introduce himself, but he is our 3K school record holder. Set that last year. Just missed a national qualifying mark in the 3K. And he tells me he's going to fix that this year. And then we've got Kayla Gagan here. Kayla is a jack of all trades. Kayla is our school record holder in the javelin. She's on the top 10 list in 7 other events, most of which are not distance running. And yet she's still one of our top distance runners.
Well, hi everyone, I'm Ryan Moen. I am a sophomore from Colorado Springs, Colorado. I'm studying chemical engineering, and after that I'm planning to get my master's here in chemical engineering.
Hi, I'm Kayla Gagan. I'm from Livingston, Montana, and I'm a senior in mechanical engineering this year. And I'm graduating this May and have a job lined up with the Puget Sound Naval Shipyard once I graduate.
Any questions for us?
What time's your first meet?
First race is at 9:30 on Saturday.
Okay, thank you.
Robbinsdale Park. Any other questions? All right, thank you.
Steve, did you say 150 miles? Really? I don't know if I've run 150 miles in my lifetime. Why haven't the women run 150 miles yet? All right, let's bring Coach Tinker up here. He brought a couple fellas to chat with y'all, and let's see if he's gonna bring the juice tonight.
I know, thanks Joel. I know Larry's excited about the opportunity to get a popsicle for running that race on Saturday. Very fired up. I hope to beat Brad to the punch on any questions he asked me beforehand, but wanted to share with you where we are as a football program. Very, very excited about the future of Hardrocker football, the current of Hardrocker football as well. We teed up Saturday, 1 o'clock. Colorado Mesa is coming to town. When you look at our home schedule this season, a season ago, the most talented teams really in the conference, we played away from here. So this season, they all come to Dunham Field at O'Hara Stadium, which is where we like to play people because we're very, very good at home. We have the fans honking the horns and the ramps. I am trying to do whatever we can to get a notice of allegation from the RMAC for excessive noise coming from the ramps. So I feel if we haven't gotten a notice yet, it's because we haven't been loud enough in the ramps. So I encourage you to do whatever you can artificially with noisemakers to make it very, very difficult to play at Dunham Field. So we do have some very, very talented teams coming to Rapid City, South Dakota. And we have a talented team that we have that's going to meet those challenges. Go through it with you so you have an idea of where we are positionally and where the program is. Starting with our defensive backfield, we've got some guys who have made some jersey changes. So a season ago, number 20, Dominic Jackson, was the RMAC leader in interceptions. He's now wearing number 2. He is a ball hawk, and for at least the first week, they won't know what jersey he's in, and they might throw the ball towards him. He had a lot of picks last season. Number 3 is Steven Nolasco at safety. He's a senior. He wore number 30 a season ago, good hard-hitting safety. And number 21, Adrian Eastman, another returning starter. So we have 3 returning starters in the back end. At linebacker, we got returning starters everywhere. 41, Cole Peterson. 15, Will Carroll. Those guys were very, very good a season ago. 59, Justin Brockmeyer. Those guys are all players that played a significant amount of football a season ago. In the deep front, number 54, Brian Acuna is a senior. He's playing his best football he's ever played for us. Brian does look like he's 33 years old, but he's actually one of the youngest seniors in the program. We've got a huge challenge. Brian is from Nigeria. It's actually a huge challenge. We play in Canada this season. It's actually a really big, I didn't know this until it happened, but getting an international student to a game in Canada is a lot of paperwork. So we're still working through that and making sure it comes through, but he's been outstanding all camp. Also on the deep front, number 49, Keontae Christian. You'll see him later. One of the premier players, in my opinion, in the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference. Number 42, Gavin Chaddock. No one's ever seen him play before. He's a redshirt freshman. He's really good. So very excited to see Gavin play. And the deep front is coming along nicely. So that's where we're at in terms of the defensive side of the football. On offense, we returned some really good players. Colin Zerd, number 19. At receiver, number 87, Ira Murphy at tight end, Rapid City's finest. Really good player at tight end. Number 18, Joe Lubers. Number 11, now Anthony Ulrich. So some good players there. You'll also see number 9, Ahmad Lewis, brand new running back. Ahmad Lewis, a transfer from Orange Coast College. Initially went to Arizona out of high school. This guy's a really good player. He's going to try to replace some of the production of number 6, Connor Silvera, a season ago. But he'll run behind the best offensive line we've had. We've returned 5 returning starters on the offensive line, starting with number 73, Jack Batho, number 75, Grant Smith, Ola Galataria Soares, which doesn't even fit when you put it on the roster, and then Austin Roth and Harris Irwin. So we do return some really good beef up front. So we're also going to play a quarterback. So number 14, Spencer Zur, is going to play quarterback, redshirt sophomore out of Park City, Utah. Spencer has been fantastic, and you're going to ask a lot of questions about him replacing Jacob Sullivan, and let's be blunt, no one's going to replace Jacob right away. That production doesn't get replaced, but we have a fantastic roster around Spencer. So don't ask Spencer about Jake, all right, because it's just not fair to him. It's not fair to the kids on the team. He's ready to go. He's put a ton into this, and he's ready to play on Saturday. So very, very excited for those men. In the kicking game, Ennis Sefer returns, number 90. Ennis could get another personal foul this year. You know, he's from Kosovo. He doesn't know the football rules great. He's one of the only kickers in the country to get a celebration penalty, which still we were way ahead, so it was actually funny. But he also has a tendency to hit guys out of bounds, just unknowingly. He pleads innocence. He's one of the smartest people we have, so I don't know that he's actually innocent, but he's back. He's had a really good career. And we're going to break in a new punter, Casey Knutson, a left-footed punter. I love having a left-footed punter because the ball spins wrong. And if you haven't fielded punts from a left-footed punter, it's really hard to figure out why the ball's turning the wrong way. So it's a huge advantage for us, and so excited to have Casey on board as our punter. So excited for Saturday. Every coach in America is excited for Saturday. If I could tell you exactly what we'll look like, I'd be lying to you. But we will have a ton of juice and be ready to go when Colorado Mesa comes to town. We'll be challenged because they have one of the best players in the conference. They have a receiver who nobody covered. A receiver who's actually an all-conference receiver in front of Isaiah Manley, number 13 of ours. And anybody who's better than Isaiah is pretty good. So excited to see those guys come to town and what we do on Saturday. Okay. It's been kind of a weird year. We've had, for the first time in my career here, we've had already 3 NFL teams on campus. Baltimore Ravens are coming to watch the game Saturday. Just got an email from the Seattle Seahawks, the greatest organization in football. Yeah, they're coming. Thank you. Go Hawks. They're coming to see us practice, so I don't know what that means in terms of whether that'll help us win any more games, but it's great exposure for our players. It's great to see that we're getting recognized finally, and people are saying, hey, those guys are producing a great student athlete, but also a great football player as well. So excited about that and ready to go on the season, okay? I did bring 2 awesome players with me. Keontae Christian, number 49, a defensive end, out of Aurora, Colorado, a really cool kid, just a sophomore, started for us as a true freshman last year, and he brings the juice every single day. We sometimes have to turn his temperature down a little bit because he goes so hard, which is a great problem to have. You know, you always, with a player, you always want to have to pump the brakes. You don't want to have to mash the gas, because if you have to get him going every day, it's a problem. And then Ira Murphy, number 87, our tight end, is a junior civil engineer. He's from right here in Rapid City, South Dakota. And one of the things I love about our tight ends is when he and Matthew Dietz, when they walk up to you, they look like real tight ends, which is exciting. You know, they're big, and I have to look up to them, which I like. So I gave them not only their normal introductions, but they also have a few prompts to share with you. So it's a little bit like they're trying to sell themselves to you a little bit. It's like Shark Tank right now, okay? So we'll see what these guys bring to the table. Come on up, boys. A couple of studs right here. And you can tell Keontae's really nervous in front of people, you can tell. Go ahead, Ira.
As Coach Sink said, I'm Ira Murphy. I'm from Rapid City. I'm a junior civil engineer. Always grew up in Rapid, always wanted to be here. And it was really funny coming to School of Mines and coming back and watching my home team play. It almost looked like it was in slow motion. I mean, the college level is so much faster and so much more physical that it is huge eye opener. And then off the field, you know, it's a lot harder than high school and anything I could really imagine. I mean, Wednesdays I wake up at 6 a.m. I guess I get to practice at 6 a.m. Go to class from 8 to 1, and then I do my homework in between that and meetings, and I get done with my day about 7, and it wears you out. You sleep pretty good. So here's Keontae.
Hi everybody, my name is Keontae Christian. I'm from Aurora, Colorado. One of the reasons I chose South Dakota School of Mines is just because the opportunities that I'll get once football is over. I know everybody here is, you know, living the dream, you know, they're playing a college sport, and at some time, you know, that is going to end. Everybody's going to have to come to reality with that. And I just know that getting a degree from here is going to set me up for just bigger and better things in life, you know, bring me things that football probably couldn't. One of the things that it does do, you know, just the hard work that you have to put in, you know, everybody sees that, you know, on game day, but no one really sees behind the scenes. One of the things that, you know, guys get recognized for is like the pickaxe. We do that every week during practice and especially after the games. We have the pickaxe committee that votes on that, which is the player who voted the last week and the head coach and all the other coaches. Really the guy who wins that is the guy who embodies basically the Hardrocker mentality. That's the biggest way that I can explain it. Guys who put in the work on the field, off the field, the weight room, everything that really just involves football itself. And it's a great honor when you do win it, recognized by your teammates, your coaches, and that's really just one of the biggest things I like to share.
Oh, you guys get to answer questions now.
Any questions?
We're good. Brad?
What would you say the combined weight of the offensive line is this year?
Well, Jack Batho's about 310.
Yep.
Grant Smith is about 310. Ola is about 350 after practice. Austin Rolfe is about 300. And Connor Smith is about 288. We're big. We look like a real. And I was 240 Gordon. So we're meaty. Yeah, we're big. We look like an offensive line when we get out of the huddle. It's fun to watch. Well, we don't huddle, but I mean, if we were to huddle, we look pretty big coming out.
How many pounds of barbecue do you guys eat?
One of our Jack Batho's girlfriend's dad does competitive barbecue, and he cooked for the entire team. And he made food for 250, and there's 100 of us. Nothing left. It was on. Yeah, it was impressive. It was impressive. But that's the beauty of small college football, that people will take their time. I mean, what we share with our players, people can give you money, that goes a ways. They can give you accolades, but when people give you their time, when people actually take their time to come here tonight, when you could be out hitting balls or playing 9, or you could be with your families doing something different, people who actually take their time. That man stayed up all night the night before monitoring that barbecue to make sure the temperature was right. And he knows about 7 or 8 guys on the team. Right? So when people give you their time, that's the most valuable thing they can possibly give you. And so we're very, very appreciative of that. And if anybody else wants to spend time and feed our players, my budget would thank you.
Would either of the athletes like to make a counterpoint to the Seahawks statement earlier?
Steeler Nation.
Just say something about this. Say something about some team in Colorado. Go ahead.
I mean, the Broncos are definitely the best organization. I will say that the Detroit Lions have also expressed interest. Detroit Lions are also coming this weekend. I don't know if
Detroit Lions also come this weekend. Yeah, it's been exciting. It's kind of a neat deal. You know, we have one for sure NFL prospect this year. And it's exciting. I mean, it's interesting when the scouts are there, everybody's a little more attentive at practice. Even I'm running around a little bit better trying to tell them I'm still a free agent. Yeah.
Can you tell us something about the freshmen that are coming in? Are there going to be any impact players in that group? Or
Yeah, so we'll play. I don't think we have someone quite like Keontae who came in and started right away. We have Malik Jackson who's out of Aurora, Colorado also. Linebacker, really good player. I think he'll play early in his career. Our punter, Casey Knudsen, really good player out of Fort Collins. He'll play right away. He's a good player. Those are the ones that are going to have the most immediate impact. It's a season ago, we needed every single rookie, as we say. Those guys are a season older now, and so we have more experience. I mean, we have 8 returning starters on defense, and I think 8 on offense as well. So we don't need as much of that immediate impact help at freshmen, which helps me sleep. I love freshmen. I just like them more when they're sophomores. Yeah.
I had the opportunity to watch a couple of your practices, and the competition that you had at quarterback was pretty special.
Yeah.
You don't get very many five quarterbacks on a team that step up and make the play, and so it's nice to see you made your decision. It'll be interesting to see how that works out.
Yeah.
And then you've got great support behind him too.
Yeah, those guys battled. It was interesting. Yeah, it was interesting. There were a couple of days when they were competing to see who could be worse. And it's usually right around the time the defense starts installing some complex blitzes. We start looking like we've never played before. And then we had a good discussion one day in the quarterback meeting room after one of those days, and it was a nice heartfelt moment where we all came to an agreement on how we were going to play moving forward, and we've been really sharp since. We have 3 players that can win an RMAC game right now. There's no question in my mind, and we have a couple guys that are trying to nip at their heels as well. So we have a freshman quarterback who hasn't figured it out yet, but he's unique.
He is unique.
He's unique. We just never had him quite like that before. So that's fun.
What's your Friday afternoon, evening, Saturday schedule?
This coming Friday, how we're going to do it, yeah. So it'll be interesting because we've got this Friday, we've got games at the high school, so we're going to practice someplace off-site, get those guys ready. We get them going. We've changed one thing, Dr. Rankin. We're going now to a little bit later pregame meal. So for those of you who follow us closely, we were not very good in the fourth quarter in 2018. And did some research, started asking some more people, started finding out that maybe our guys were hungry at the end of the game because we traditionally eat 4 hours before kickoff. So we moved that up, so we should have a little extra juice in the fourth quarter. So we're eating 3 hours now. And that's part of the evaluation. You can just say, hey, what have we been doing? Is there anything that anybody else is doing? And what we found is, and it sounds silly, but college football games are longer than they've ever been before. So you used to be able, when Ryan played, there were 7 passes a game or 11 passes a game. If you're right, same with me. Nobody threw the ball, right? So when we played, the games were way shorter. Now the games are longer, so you need more energy because you're out there for a longer period of time. And so that's one of the things we've done scientifically. We thought that would help us and get ready to go. So, and then we try to tell our players to slow burn. Don't try to get too. You don't need to be ready to play the game Friday night. So that's not important. We need to be ready Saturday at 1, and so we'll get juiced up and ready to go. Good. All right, everybody, rock on.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks, fellas. I learned something today. Reagan actually played softball with Jack Batho's girlfriend's sister. So, yeah, family. And I know who's going to be cooking out for the softball team next year. Right, Reagan? Barbecue every weekend, right? I'm sure you've all heard me say this before, and the fellows over there gave you an idea of what takes place for an NCAA athlete. And you see that commercial, and the NCAA obviously tries to make it come across a little better than what it really actually is. But the average Division II athlete, not science and engineering student, not RMAC athletes, put in 85 hours a week between academics, athletics, and community service. They're not getting up, when I was at William Jewell, our farthest trip was 8 hours to Indianapolis. They're not getting on a 16-hour bus trip to Dixie State or 12 hours to Salt Lake City. A trip to the Denver metropolitan area is like a getaway, right? That's easy. So any help, any sort of investment that anybody has ever made to help make things and ease a burden on scholar athletes is greatly appreciated. Honk your horns on Saturday. Show up to the volleyball games. Show up to soccer games. Be energetic, enthusiastic. Bring your juice. They know you're there. They appreciate you being there. Show up to the cross-country meet, stand at the finish line, and help Coach Johnson rip off numbers so we know who placed in what place. We truly have some great young people that are definitely going to change the world. I got one real story real quick that just reminds me. Part of my job, I get to travel the United States and meet alumni. Dr. Rankin and I took off and went to Indiana and St. Louis. And on our way back, we stopped in St. Louis. We had an alumni gathering. We had lunch with a 1951 alum by the name of Bill Hoskins. Anybody know who Bill Hoskins is in the room, besides Tom Rubush and Larry Simonson? Classmate. Well, Bill, anybody ever take a drink out of a modern aluminum beverage can? Yeah? Bill invented the modern aluminum beverage can when he was working for Anheuser-Busch, 1951 men's basketball alum. He also, anybody know what Scotch-Brite is? Anybody use Scotch-Brite in here? Bill also invented Scotch-Brite. He got a whopping $750 for each one of those. But I truly believe that you might have seen somebody in the room tonight that stood up here and talked that's going to change the world like Bill Hoskins did. And that's why I get up every day and do what I do. Because you're going to meet somebody, watch somebody who's going to change the world. Thank you. Have a good night. Really appreciate everybody coming. If you get an opportunity to thank the servers for Arrowhead, they did an amazing job. Thank you, Sandy and Marie, for lighting this up. Bravo. Thank you.